and welcome to the Enchantress Society with Tia Johnson, a place where you get to be you, where you get to unlock your magic in a sacred and judgment-free zone. The Enchantress Society is your witchy sisterhood of enchanting women who guides and supports you along your spiritual journey from the mundane to the magical. I invite you to sit for a spell as I interview guests and spill the spiritual tea on how we can create the magical life we deserve. Hello there, Enchantress. I have to say, the time right now is 2:22 a.m. So if you've been rocking with me for a while during this podcast journey of mine, you know I love to record in the morning early. I was going to say crack of dawn, but we're nowhere near, about a good 4 hours before the sun starts to rise. I just love recording during this time. And it was interesting that when I looked at my phone to log into Zoom to record, it was 2:22 at the time I hit that record button, which is cool because the twos have to do with keeping the faith, keeping your thoughts positive, really in relation to one. Number one has to do with, keeping your thoughts high. Two has to do with, just a continuation of that. So they're kind of hand in hand. And you will see slightly different definitions depending on whose blog you go to. They may call it angel number, or some may just say, numbers, whatever. But it's really about keeping your thoughts positive, staying in that high vibe. So congrats to you. All right. So the new moon, this is Tia Scope, new moon. Gosh, what is it in now? Cancer. Cancer new moon. All right. On a Friday. At the time of this recording, it is on Thursday. Just a little behind the scenes there. I have my candle going. I got the champagne toast, the 3-wick candle from Bath and Body Works. It smells so good. And no, that's not a promo or anything like that, secret collab. I just really like the candle. It smells so good. It's nice and quiet, and I am just pumped. I pulled some oracle cards. So let's get into it. If you are new to the Tia Scope episodes of this podcast, this really involves me wanting to understand more about astrology, the zodiacs, and how it all plays together. So, not just the celestial planets, so not just astronomy, not just astrology with the zodiacs, but just about everything. Some terminology that I look up to see, hey, what does sextile mean? What does conjunct mean? So I, in my best way possible, break it down in layman's terms. I'm by no means an astrologer. I am learning as I go along. I will say, check out the Cosmic series where I had Ali, the Astro Witch, really break down retrograde planets, or excuse me, when planets go in retrograde and more. So that was a huge help. So yeah, I wanted to understand all of this and how it plays into our life, because I know I'm highly influenced. We all are. Throughout the moon phases, especially when the moon is full. Okay, so I wanted to understand what the heck's going on, why I feel certain ways, especially when there's a full moon, and what I can do about it. Get some insight, some information. Like, what can I do? All right. And I like looking at the energies behind it. So I look at the day of the week it falls on, etc. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I just want to understand what's going on, and I give you references so you can click the links in the description of this episode so you can do more independent research. I encourage that because I don't talk about every single planet that is impacted during this time. I just go to astrologyking.com. I look at the more predominant ones, and then you can do more reading. All right. So also, how are you feeling? We just wrapped up the Sirius Portal 2. What was it, from July 3rd to the 7th? I know I didn't sleep. And it's funny, I'm looking at the TV now and now I'm seeing 92, 92. So I'm just going to mind my business and keep my eyes on my computer because I'm just seeing constant numbers now. All right. So I know I barely slept. There was one day where I just didn't sleep and I took more like a nap. But it's weird because it didn't feel like a sleep. It just felt like between a sleep and the nap, it just felt like, I don't know, not really like I was resting deeply. I didn't feel drained when I woke up. So yeah, it was very weird timing. I definitely worked with the serious energy, so that was fun. Just channeling that energy. But yeah, sleeping was not something that was happening, but I also didn't feel bad about it or drained about it, feeling like, oh, I really need to catch up on my sleep. So that's interesting. The same thing happened right after the lunar eclipse. I was actually sleeping a lot, but it didn't feel like sleep. I didn't go to sleep thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, and wake it up like, oh, I really needed that long sleep. I feel so rejuvenated. It was just like, no, I just had to, I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. I guess that's a form of downloading. I don't know. But when I talked about it, a lot of people were saying, oh my gosh, I slept a lot after the solar eclipse, or excuse me, lunar eclipse too. The solar eclipse, I don't know what the hell with that. I don't even know. I don't even know. But I will say, when I went outside today for some fresh air, I did appreciate the solar energy that comes with the summertime weather. So let's just get into it. I just want to talk a little bit about that serious energy. So you are someone who also didn't sleep much. You also just felt like you were beside yourself, needed some time and space for yourself. That's probably why. And now here we are, new moon. We're already feeling this. So the Sirius portal wrapped up on the 7th. I'm recording this on the 8th. It's going to go live on the 9th. When the moon is going through these phases, especially when it's the new moon, full moon, waxing, waning, those initial days or those actual days, we feel that energy. Okay. We feel that energy days leading up to it and days after. Now, I've seen a lot of schools of thought on this, and overall, it's we feel that energy 3 days before and 3 days after. And the day that it is actually full or new moon is really only for a split second because it's constantly going towards the next phase. So with that being said, I've talked to people who felt like they picked up on the energy a week before. Same with me. I know certain energies that I feel right before a full moon or a new moon, and it really coincides with that. Some people say, no, you can't feel it that far in the distance. And I don't feel it too much a week after, but everyone's different. And I just learned that even with the Mercury retrograde, when that ends, there's a 2 week shadow period. That's sort of like residual energy. It's like, ugh. So just because a lot of people talk about something doesn't mean it always has to apply for you. Okay. This is why I'm always stressing to people to get in tune with your emotions and your vibrations, your energy, how things impact you, because you will start to pick up on some patterns and then you would know, oh, when this happens, I feel like this. So now I'm more familiar with it and I know what to do. So this new moon is taking place on a Friday, Freya's day. Let's talk about the energy. The new moon, Friday, Uranus, Venus are two of the main planets that popped up. And of course, the zodiac sign of Cancer. Now, with the new moon, again, different schools of thought. Do what's right for you. Do what you are feeling called to do. New moon, some people like to work on what they want to manifest, what they want to bring into their life. because it is looked at as fresh energy, new energy, and you work towards fulfilling that when the full moon happens, full fulfilled energy gets released. Okay, some people say this is a time for reflection, going inward, maybe even a little bit of shadow work. Take some time to figure out what you're being called to do. Maybe even both. Maybe one day, today, you focus on going inward. You start to think about the people in your life and the impact they had. Start thinking about how you talk to yourself. Think about what you want to embody, what you want that to look like, or I should say, rather, who you want to embody. What does that look like for you? How are you eating? Are you drinking enough water? Is there a mindset issue that you need to overcome? Really start to think about that. Or you can do a love ritual, right? And you're going to see that love has a lot to do with this energy in Venus. And again, this is why I stress going back to listen to Ali's episode, Ali the Astro Witch, when planets go in retrograde, and she talks about how you can work with retrograde energy, especially if you're born under a retrograde. So there's some stigma behind that, but it's just really the more you get educated, the better equipped you are to do magic, work with different energies. So again, go back, listen to that episode, and take some of that knowledge and see how you can apply it to this new moon. So that's what the new moon. New energy, also known as dark moon. And then some people say, well, the dark moon is actually a little bit of this. Again, I encourage you to do your independent research, but overall, new moon, dark moon, people use that interchangeably. You may want to write, and I'll talk more about things you can do, but I just wanted to clear that with the new moon. Either or, doesn't matter, depends on you. All right, that's the new moon energy. Friday energy. So on the blog, so on my website, blog.tiamariejohnson.com, I did a magical days of the week series. And so if you go to blog.tiamariejohnson.com and you can just type in Friday in the search box, or you can go to Google Tia Johnson Friday blog, and the blog will pop up, the blog post where I talk about the origin of Friday. It's named after goddess Freya, the Norse goddess of love, sex, sensuality, and war, among other things. And I also talk about the Old English Friday, basically how it started from Freya and how we got Friday from Freya. All right. But more importantly, some of the things that you can tap into for that Friday energy, which is funny because the planet for Friday is Venus as well. So you can focus on your heart chakra, love, empathy, your sacral chakra, sex, creativity, your solar plexus, personal power, your root chakra, healthy boundaries, and building healthy relationships. Okay, you can focus on sex magic. There's a lot of things you can do with Friday, but it's pretty much living up to its hype of being that party day, right? Everyone's looking forward to Friday, unless you're someone who works on the weekends or Friday nights, then not so much. But Friday has a lot to do with pleasure. It has a lot to do with fun. Some of the plants and flowers associated with Friday are rose, violet, wild strawberry. All right, so you can really dive into the energy of Friday, dance, things like that. So a combination, and something you can do is, if you desire romantic love, if you desire more confidence, etc., dance, move your hips. I even talked about that in the sex magic, or excuse me, the sex goddess summit that I wrapped up a couple of weeks ago. And you can go to tiamariejohnson.com. You can get access to it. It's a 3-day online summit. It's totally free. So you can get access to all 3 days. And I talked about moving your hips and focusing on your lower chakras. All right. So it was a little dance party. So that's the energy of Friday. And I'm going to connect all of these. So just bear with me. So we had that new moon energy, Friday energy. Let's go to Uranus. I don't know much about this planet, and I'm on astrologyzodiacscience.com. Again, I'll post a link in the description of this episode. So it has to do with freedom, humanity, crossroads, chaos, surprises, separation, colors, silver, metallic. So this is quite the planet. So this planet is observed as a planet of liberation, rebellion, anarchy, and it has a strong basis in Saturn's rule. Okay, so this is a planet that is going to help you push the envelope. Is what I'm getting from this. Also, it states here on a personal level, Uranus always shows the need for separation, rebellion, spite, and our personal search for freedom. So this is going to be a time of your need to break free. All right, so that's Uranus. And then we have Cancer and Venus. All right, so Cancer, let's talk about this sign. Ruled by water element. Okay. Ruler is the moon, far as celestial body. Strength, tenacious, highly imaginative, loyal, emotional, sympathetic, persuasive. Weaknesses, I'm not fond of that word weakness, but moody, pessimistic, suspicious, manipulative, insecure. Because sometimes, as I said before, some of these descriptions get a bad rep, right? Because it depends on the person. For example, aggression isn't bad until someone makes it bad. You could be aggressive on a football field, but if you're too aggressive, now you're just going about it all wrong, right? No one likes someone who's too aggressive. All right, anger is another one that can be channeled to make change, right? You're so angry, you're tired of injustice, you're tired of something, you're tired of life feeling like a hamster wheel, like you being in a hamster wheel. So you're going to use this anger to make change happen, as opposed to using anger to cause unnecessary destruction. So that's why I take some issue with weaknesses, but I get it in this part. Manipulative, insecure, that's not cool. But again, why weakness? It should be something else. Anyway, whatever. That's Cancer, and I can see how Uranus plays a part in this. All right. And last is Venus, and we talked about this before. Pretty much people get Venus, love, feminine energy, all that. Okay, so what does all this mean together? The new moon energy, and this is choose your outcome, right? So let's say you want to go with the manifesting route, right? You want to work towards bringing something into your life. You can tap into Friday's energy, and by tapping into, I mean you can just imagine a swirl of energy around you. I talked about this on my Instagram stories when I want to connect with certain energy, like the Sirius energy, planet Sirius, or Mars energy. I imagine a flow of energy, and sometimes it shows up as sparkly, red or blue or green, white light, golden light surrounding me in a serpentine way, just swirling around. So tap into this Friday energy. You can dance, you can sing, you can have sex, good sex, not horrible sex. Okay, good sex, dancing like no one's watching. You're on beat, you're off beat, dance to the beat of your own drum. Again, sing, paint, get creative. Okay, move around, just get the body moving. Okay, or if you can't move, get your mind to visualize that, get your soul moving, start listening to music that gets you going, get you pumped up, make you want to, groove. Okay, now you increase your energy. It's like a power up. Okay, because sometimes we need that power up, right? This world can be harsh, and we need music to elevate us sometimes, right? So do that, and then use Uranus energy to be that pathway of, you know what do I need to shake up in my life? What's been stagnant? What do I need to look at? Let me use this energy to be rebellious, to do something that works for me. Even if it's not rebellious for you, it's just the sheer fact that you are doing something that is against the grain for many people. Okay. Like I talked about in the Sex Goddess Summit, your lifestyle should be respected. Consenting adults, okay? If you want to be in an open marriage, in a poly relationship, whatever the case may be, we talked about breaking down those stereotypes, those blockages, societal constructs that can hold people back. So think about that. While to someone, having a lifestyle that's suited for them is crazy rebellious for someone else, right? So think about what you need to shake up in your life that could be seen as rebellious, but that's really you living your truth. And then with that Cancer energy, how can you be more in tune to yourself? Because this is a great time to also think about what you want to bring into your life and the role you play in that. For example, with my new place, I'm still ordering furniture. A lot of things are on back order. I can't rush that process. Okay. I am just giving myself the space to just be in my little Zen moment. Okay. Get in touch with that because I can easily get irritated. Why isn't this? Tia, relax. It's going to be okay. There's no time limit. I mean, yes, we are on a limited time being on this earth, but I can't rush what's not there yet. So that's what I'm saying. Saying is going inward. How are you showing up in your life? For me, I now don't get so stressed out and, yelling out loud about, well, why isn't this? This doesn't make any sense. Deep breath. Also, I got rid of 5 trash bags, but it was those cute white trash bags. So I just stuffed a lot of stuff in there. Old stuff that I don't need, clothes that just was a little stretched out from the wash. Let it go. And that created space for me to be more creative, to bring more into my life because I got rid of the old stagnant energy. That's the thing. The old stuff we have in our life, we might think, oh, it's not doing anything. No, it's energy leaks, right? Like when you have a leaky faucet. Oh, well, I closed it down all the way. I pushed down the little handle. Yeah, but there's a slow drip and little drips become big drips, big things, right? So really take some time to figure out how you're showing up. Get on your emotional side. Are you loyal to yourself? That's one of the traits of a Cancer. Are you loyal to yourself? Are you being tenacious? Are you being highly imaginative? The things that we want to call into our life, our desires, we are operating outside of logic. A lot of things aren't going to make sense. This is why we keep our dreams close to the chest, right? Until they get to a certain point that no one can mess with it, right? So think about that. How are these traits showing up in your life or lack thereof? Maybe you've been moody and pessimistic during this time. So now is the time to figure out how you can change that. All right. And then Venus, this is going to be in relation to love, among other things. So let's look at the, what do you call it? The summary. So this is, again, astrologykeen.com. And it states, the July 9th new moon does pose some problems related to love and money because of the difficult aspects to Venus. All right. And then it goes on to talk about Saturn and some other things. The keys to working with this star are partnership and compromise, very much the same as working with a challenge in Venus. So I just want to explain this a little bit. Talking about the keys to working with this star are partnership and compromise. People sometimes, when they see the word compromise, they think, oh my gosh, I'm giving up all these things. I'm going to be seen as weak and submissive. I'm going to lose. This is about a partnership and compromising with the right people. That's the thing. I recently commented about this. So one of the Instagram pages I love had a post where it was someone, I guess on Twitter, talked about relationships and about what a woman does for a man. And I wrote, this was on Spiritual World Instagram, so check them out. They're awesome. And I wrote, this is missing some context to it. The thing is, yeah. And I was speaking for the women at the time. I just said we would do that for a king, because that king is going to treat us like a queen. And we have no problem doing things for a man who is loving, supportive, protective. And I'm saying man for me, but say whomever for yourself. So, and the post was in relation to a man or woman. And that's the thing. People give king level privileges to people who don't deserve a crumb. You understand? And I'm going to leave it at that because, okay, so new flash, surprise. The next series is the Witchy Lifestyle series. And I have my girl, AJ, the Glamour Witch, coming on to talk about spiritual bypassing. So we are going in, all right? You sound like Little Wayne, I'm going in. We are going in on spiritual bypassing. So yeah, check out the Glamour Witch, Alexis Jackson. She was on the show, I think last year now. And we talked about hexing and other taboos. So go check that out. Just keep scrolling. So really think about that. Who are you getting into partnerships with and who are you compromising? Like, what are you compromising and with whom are you compromising? So think about that. Where is this compromising going? All right. Next paragraph here. Another big help in avoided, excuse me, I can't talk. These brackets, avoided or overcoming any problems posed by the challenging nature of the new moon. July 2021 is the sextile to Uranus. And I looked up what sextile means. I'm like, what the heck does that mean? It basically means that it's in harmony with whatever planet it's close to. So it states that the sextile is an aspect form when planets are two signs or about 60 degrees apart. Is a positive harmony between planets that open up new pathways for growth. So it's about being in harmony and new pathways for growth. Okay. In relation to shaking things up, because as I was saying earlier with Uranus, I can't talk. Uranus, these brackets, man. So if you're new to the show, long story short, I paid to get braces on my teeth, but I had to get brackets on the back of my teeth, the bottom teeth. And because of that, it causes me to speak with a slur sometimes. There are some words I have a hard time pronouncing. So I have to think of an entire new word. It's like when I didn't have autocorrect on hand before we had our fancy iPhones and stuff, and I didn't know how to spell a word, so I just rewrote the entire sentence. Yeah, it's like that, but verbally. Okay, so so increased intuition and insight can help you avoid potential problems. So this is basically saying, listen to your damn intuition And I'm saying that with such emphasis because every single time I did not listen to my intuition because I was young, I was hanging out with friends, friends. So it was a friend of a friend of a friend. And it was always the friend of a friend of a friend that caused some type of trouble. And I'm just like, I knew it. I wanted to leave a long time ago. In some cases, I didn't even want to go. So listen to your damn intuition. When you get that it's time to go, leave. Do not linger. Go. So what if you never found out what happened? You dodged a bullet or bullets. Who cares? Just go, please. All right. Uh, just go. Increase intuition and insight can help you avoid potential problems or at least mitigate them. All right. To a certain extent. If you can't avoid it completely, you can at least just, just not take the full front of it. Unexpected opportunities and willingness to change can help overcome any setbacks. And this is what I was saying earlier with the what needs to be shook up in your life. Do you feel like you're stuck? You're in this in between phase. What's going on? You're a lot of us are feeling like we are on the brink of change. So that's another thing that I wanted to talk about is how are we feeling? Why are we feeling these things? What's going on? So keep in mind that with these phases, it's going to stir up certain feelings, emotions, thoughts, etc. So you may feel like the change you need is a promotion, is a new job, is a change of city, is to look at the people in your life, to whatever the case may be, or something within you need to change with yourself, how you talk to yourself, your habits, whatever it is. So this is what many people are feeling. It's that antsy that I know change is coming. Oh, this opportunity pop up. I need to jump on it. This is great. And then you get nervous because you don't know if it's really going to happen, but you feel like it's going to happen, but you're still not sure, but you're going to give it a whirl anyway. Please keep going. Please keep going. All right. So I'm gonna talk about the cards I have here, and then I'm gonna go and scroll up here and talk more about what the astrology king has to say. All right, so the three cards I have here, I may pull another card. I have here willpower, good luck, and talent. And from this willpower card, well, first I'm going to describe to you what I see here. It's a woman, and it looks like she is dancing with earth. Like her hands are up, one hand's holding earth, the other hand's holding the moon, and it looks like she might have twirled around. She just looks like she's in harmony with everything, but also she's claiming this power, and it's just her and these two celestial bodies. So, well, she will be the third celestial body. And what I'm getting from this card is that more willpower is needed. So we have that willpower within, but we need that extra to get us over the hump. It's like when we did all the work to get up the hill and we're on a bike and we need that extra push to get us to the top. We just work so hard to get up this hill. It's like just 1, 2, 3 more pedals. I'm at the top. It's like you're that close. So if you are looking to start a new job and you started your resume, finish your resume and submit it. If you want to get a promotion, start practicing in the mirror what you're going to say. Start thinking, anticipating questions that the person might ask. Start writing down your accomplishments. If it is in regards to friendship, relationships, think about the conversations you need to have. And if you can't have those conversations with that person, then you need to figure out, what are you going to do? Are you going to end that relationship, that friendship, whatever it is? Are you going to have a mediator, a therapist, a third party person? How are you going to handle that? Because if you're not having a conversation that you're supposed to have, you cannot move forward. So this card is saying to drum up a little extra willpower. So you got the lunar energy and then earth energy. So you may have to ground yourself first a little bit, but also trust your intuition and, dance in harmony with yourself. Okay. You're in your own rhythm. Okay. And that rhythm is putting yourself first. doing what works for you, getting into your habits that help you out. And I also have one of my friends coming on the show who's going to talk about daily habits. All right. In the witchy series. So witchy lifestyle series. So I'm telling you, stay tuned. Tell your friends, stay tuned. All right. Next is good luck. And this is a card with a black cat. And this cat is chilling in a garden or excuse me, forest looking area. And this card, what I'm getting from this is that taboo. And it's sort of like what I was talking about earlier when I said, about your lifestyles, how you want to live, being rebellious. It may be a simple thing for you, like putting yourself first, doing what works for you, living in your truth, but it's so rebellious for someone else. And also, I've been saying this even more recently, especially when you focus on yourself, you're going to be the bad guy in someone's story. You got to accept it, take it for what it is, move on. And it's very subtle when I just say it is what it is and move on. You cannot help sometimes the story people tell. Who you are will always shine through. And if people don't want to hear your side of the story, they don't want to get to know you, screw them. So what this black cat represents here is that taboo, right? The taboo. So many times I hear people who made it, whether it's the entrepreneur who became wildly successful, the celebrity, the actor, whatever it is, people tend to tell them, oh, you're lucky. And they constantly say, no, this is hard work, mainly hard work, a little bit of talent and a little bit of luck. But it was a lot of stuff going on in the background, a lot of moving pieces, so much going on. So it's easy to see someone's success and say, oh, they're lucky. Yeah, in the end, it gets a little easier. People want to work with them and do things. And so, yeah, it is a little easier, but it's a lot that takes to get to that point. So what I'm saying here is while you're embracing your willpower, while you're working on your communication, your relationships, especially with love, because Venus is there too, understand that what you are pursuing is the right thing. But people will try to demonize it. They will try to say that you are someone who is just doing too much with their willpower, right? You too much, or who does that? What's going on? Because you're about to shake shit up, okay? And people don't like that, and so you're going to get the bad rep. But you are magical. You're going to make it happen, and you're going to be so far removed from these people. It's not going to matter. And then we have talent. So this lady, she's really dancing. She's so graceful looking. She looks like a ballerina. She has one leg in the air, almost like a 90-degree angle, maybe a 60-degree angle. And her arms are in the air, her eyes are closed, and she is just in her zone. She's in a beautiful state. And then the moon's behind her. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so what this saying is you have to be in your own rhythm. So you really only see half the moon in this picture. And it's like she's bringing it to full circle. She's making this moon whole, full, if you will. So focus on that. How can you be in your own rhythm where you dive into your intuition and you bring that desire into your life? You attract it. You're not chasing it. You're sitting on your throne. You are delegating. You're ruling over your land. And because you're doing such a great job with that, people see this glorious land and they want to partake. And this is where you have your boundaries, aka your defensive walls up. And this is where you make the determination who's allowed to enter your land, your kingdom, your queendom, whatever you want to call it, right? Not everyone's invited. But here is where your talents are going to be magnified. And the talent here is communicating, manifesting, okay, getting into your zone where your rhythm consists of whatever that habit is for you. Waking up in the morning, getting fresh air, getting water, going for a run, dancing, singing, whatever it is, lighting a candle, focusing on the candle, journaling, pulling the oracle card for the day for guidance or a theme of the day. That's your rhythm. That's your rhythm. That's what you need. That fuels your soul. So Let's look at one more card. One more. Ooh, travel. I like this one. And the moon's in the distance. The woman's here with a staff, and she's on like a little canoe or whatever. And it's nighttime. All these cards are it's just like nighttime or the sun setting. Love it. So yeah. Oh, and it looks like there's a the brightest star in the background. Maybe that's Sirius in the background because she has a blue light with the staff too. All right. So with this card, you're traveling to new heights, and the water is very calm. That she's on here, she's just drifting. This is literally telling you to go with the flow. Just let it go. And it's like it's not going any particular weird. You just sometimes when you're in that in between state, you just gotta just ride it out. Like, hey man, I'm just going downstream. All right. Let's scroll up a little bit here. Okay. Let's see. Partnerships and compromise. That's the main title here or the subtitle. All righty. Another major effect of the July 2021 new moon is delays, restrictions, and unexpected setbacks and disappointment associated with love and money because of heavily aspected Venus. But the positive influence of Uranus gives the awareness, intuition, and the help to overcome such potential problems, which is great. And also, just because Saturn is mentioned somewhere in here, I saw it. So Saturn and Venus are opposite of each other right now. And so Saturn, we know, is the teacher planet, the tough love planet, and Venus is, a little bit more of the carefree love, romance, all that, butterflies. All right. So Saturn wants to teach Venus, like, hey, like here are some of the ways you can go about that. And Venus is like, or I could do it this way. So it's this little bit give and take, which is why this partnership and compromise is popping up because it is that pull and tug of okay, partnerships. Well, partnerships typically go like this, compromise, or it could go like this. So have these conversations, brew a a pot of coffee, say, hey, I just want to have a talk, like don't think this is something bad. It's just some things that I just want to discuss. And I just want to have an open, vulnerable space where, we are just talking, no judgments, just like, let's just talk about it. And if you feel like you can feel your blood pressure raising, walk away, come back to say, hey, you know what? I feel like right now this conversation isn't going anywhere. I need a break, so I'm going to get some air. I'm going to drive a little bit, come back, and let's just come back because right now it's really not going anywhere. Like I need to go. Okay, so really think about that. Even if you need to rehearse what you need to say, have some bullet points. If you can't talk to the person face to face, maybe it's too much for you. Send an email, send a text message. I've done that. I've sent an email where I'm like, you know what? I can't even really put the words together right now. So I'm just going to type it up. Sometimes that person who you're talking to also needs to process that, which is sidebar, a great reason why we need to know our sun. Well, many people know their sun sign, but the moon and rising sign, because that will help us understand how we communicate and how we process things. And you can check out, I believe it's the previous episode with Lucia, and she talks about the importance of our sun, moon, and rising sign. So go check that out. So, just understand that that person will have to process too and, circle back. All right. But really make this a time to have these conversations. I can't stress this enough. All right. As far as the delays and restrictions, unexpected setbacks, a lot of this just it has to do with a combination of things. Sometimes it's a communication thing. Sometimes the spirit is the world doing its thing, and we just gotta just take it for what it is. Like, okay, this is a delay. Like I was saying earlier, it's back orders for certain furniture. What I'm gonna do? It's a delay, right? It's also about just deep breath. It's out of my control. I'm going to focus on something else. All right. And I'm going to wrap this up with what it states here with Cancer is sextile Uranus, which means they're in good faith with each other. This is a positive influence, but as shown below, there are also 3 challenging squares aspect to Uranus. So again, I encourage you to go on this website and read about it. And it states here the problems associated with Venus will be discussed first. Okay, so like I said, focus on your relationships with yourself, with others, with your job. Okay, this is really focusing on a romantic relationship. But as we know, it's never just the one thing. It's usually a couple more things that are involved, and it's showing up in that area. So if there's a relationship issue, a concern, then look at what led up to that. Look at the role you played, the role other people's played, and really have that discerning moment. I'm not saying that you're guilty of anything. I'm just saying it's good to zoom out a little bit and look at the overall picture and everything that happened. So when you do go to express yourself, you're not so emotionally charged that you can't get your point across. And I know how frustrating that can be. Even on a smaller scale, when I go to the supermarket, which I can't stand, I just get anxiety. I don't like it. Sometimes I get flustered and I forget. I would literally have a list and I just want to go and I forget certain things. And because I'm rushing, I'm not taking my time. I didn't rehearse. There are just certain things that can help you make the situation better. But if you're in a rush, if you're just trying to get your word out, you're not practicing at a time, you get so emotionally involved that you forget what you're going to say. Then you think about, oh, I should have said that. That really would have helped. Okay. So I know my supermarket issue is minor, a smaller scale, but that's the best visual aid I can give. It's just when you're emotionally charged, you forget certain things because you're in that space. Okay. So that's what I have for you for this T-scope. I hope that was helpful. Again, crazy times, but we can get through it with all these eclipses and things just seem like it's happening so close together. It's like, do we have a chance to breathe? Whew. Okay. So stay tuned for the Witchy Lifestyle series. It's going to be great. I'm excited for it. And if you haven't already, go ahead to tiamariejohnson.com and get on board to the Sex Goddess Summit. I have amazing speakers. It was such a great time. Get it. It's free. All right. Trust me, you want to get on this email list. I got some great things coming up in the pipeline that you don't want to miss out on. If you aren't on this email list, if you aren't getting involved in these events, I don't know what to tell you. When I start dropping these even bigger gems, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, she's dropping all these crystals. And I should have got on the email list. All right. I'm sending you so many blessings, lots of love. I'm rooting for you. Be kind to yourself. Until next time. Thank you so much for tuning in, Magical One. Let's keep in touch. Join the VIP email list by going to tiamariejohnson.com. And as always, I'm sending you lots of love, many blessings. I'm rooting for you. And remember to be kind to yourself. Until next time.